On today's episode, we'll be exchanging views on Mayor Eric Garcetti's plan to reduce homelessness in Los Angeles.
Plus, we'll be discussing Facebook's privacy problem in light of the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
I realize the issues we're talking about today aren't just issues for Facebook and our community. They're challenges for all of us as Americans. Thank you for having me here today, and I'm ready to take your questions.
And finally, we'll be bringing you some of the latest on CSUF and local news. All this and more on today's episode of The Report.
Hello and welcome to The Report, Cal State Fullerton's premier source for news, views, and info. I'm Shanna McKercher.
I'm Zach Slopemaker.
I'm Leslie Duarte.
And I'm Abby Fernandez.
Before we delve into our first hot topic, we'd like to invite you to become a part of the discussion this semester season. Click in the link in the caption of any of our report episodes to fill out a secure Google form with your opinion on any controversial issue that we've talked about now or in the past, as many of these issues are reoccurring and evolving, ranging from gun control to abortion, climate change, or the state of politics right now. All we ask is that you please keep it civil.
Let's move on to our first hot topic. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has declared a plan to reduce the city's homeless population in the next 10 years, quote, to a functional zero. According to Eric Garcetti's spokeswoman, Anna Barr, the functional zero means that there will, quote, always be people who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless, but they are quickly identified and provided housing, end quote. Mayor Eric Garcetti's plan will kick off with $20 million for emergency shelters and another $43 million for the city to invest in long-term housing and employment development programs. The plan also includes 10,000 new low-income housing units. All of this to help an estimated 57,000 homeless Angelenos to stay off the streets. But the question is that enough? Earlier this month, Eric Garcetti joined mayors from across the state to discuss the proposal of a new bill designed to end statewide homelessness. If approved, it would open up $1.5 billion for the state to combat this growing issue. So Los Angeles has come out with this plan, and here in Orange County, we have been dealing with homelessness in the past few years. Is this a good model to follow, or what is your opinion on it?
Well, actually in Los Angeles, more than 1/4 of the total homeless population nationwide lives in California. So that's approximately 114,000 people. So it's really upsetting to me because in a country that's full of opportunity and riches, like we have these people that are struggling and they need help, not only in Los Angeles and Orange County, Sacramento, San Francisco. So we are one of the highest that have homeless populations, yet we still haven't come up with anything. Is this a realistic plan? Budget-wise, I'm not sure, but I'm glad at least something is coming up to the table after years, because the way these people have been living and on the streets, it's really upsetting, and something needs to be done.
It's tough to filter out the homelessness that are genuinely needing to have a home, a safe place to stay, ones that are working and struggling to stay afloat, and the ones that are using drugs and are kind of filling our streets with gunk and needles and drugs. That's difficult, because if I was a taxpayer and I was living in LA and part of my money was going to fund this,
and you look out the window and that's what you see.
I'd be upset to see these new facilities
day
are being used for that use. And not only that, but I feel like it's not even going to make a dent in the population problem we have with homelessness.
You know, I think I agree with you, Zach, but also a lot of the problem that we have is that housing in California is really expensive, and a lot of people, as statistics show, they do work, they just can't afford living in Los Angeles and in Orange County. Orange County has some of the highest rent. I mean, for a 2-bedroom, you're looking at $2,000.
So, yeah, but my question now is, I think the same way, Leslie, and I feel like, yes, I've met these people personally. I used to attend this caring kitchen at my church, and, you know, these people do work. I mean, you'd be surprised. You legitimately sit down with them and you talk to them, and they're working, and they have been working, whatever be the case, but then I ask myself, then why are they living here? If they have the potential to have a job, or, you know, they're sane, why don't they just move out of the, the city or the state itself?
It's harder than that, though. I mean, I did a story on this for OC News this semester for Orange County, and I also watched, if you guys have time to watch it, Skid Row and LA County. And it's more than that. Like if you have a job, college students that just get done with their degrees, they have a job here. Okay, but it's like a couple of them are living in trailers. I mean, that's what you have to do. You shouldn't have to move out of the state. I mean, I agree in some sense, but at the same time, it's like, why should they have to live on the streets just to go to college? I mean, why should I have to live in my car if I want to go to school?
I think what you're saying, Shannon, is there are resources to help them.
But there's not enough. Not in Orange County, not in LA County.
And I think this new bill is a start to implementing those resources and to really tackle this issue.
I mean, finally California wants to put money to good use is what I think. Finally.
Now, do you guys think, real quick before we move on, that with this project that's in hand within the span of 10 years, more people are going to be attracted to come here, more homeless people?
That's my complaint, because I feel like if you offer more services, people are more apt to come here because of it.
That's truly a fallacy, because this plan here is strictly has resources and has steps to the people who qualify. There are people on the streets that do not want help, but to those that do, this program and this resource will help.
I mean, I feel like nice housing everybody's going to want. No one wants to live in a tent. No one wants to do that.
But I mean, even hotels, they're partnering up, like in Orange County when they cleared the riverbeds, they gave people vouchers for only 30 days. That's a temporary fix to this problem. But those hotels, they didn't have a curtain. They were really run down, and that's fine. It was somewhere to go for them, but at least it was a solution. But it's only temporary. Now these people are on the streets or in the park. They're getting ticketed for sleeping. It's like they're still... But that's the hardest thing, because you have half the people that do want help and they know what it takes to get off the streets, and then the other half that just want to use drugs. But it also makes the crime rates go up.
Yeah, well, we can certainly talk about and discuss this all day. It is a severe topic, and I'm glad that there's at least something that's happening, for sure. On to the next hot topic. Facebook is in trouble again. CEO Mark Zuckerberg testified before lawmakers in a two-day spectacle last week regarding privacy and data misuse. This comes after a recent revelation that Cambridge Analytica, a British data analysis company, utilized private data from over 87 million Facebook users to influence U.S. voters. In the course of 2 days and 600 questions, Zuckerberg used a variation of the phrase, quote, "My team will get back to you," end quote, more than 20 times. He also apologized multiple times for the leak and said he will take the measures necessary in order to prevent something like this from happening again. Many senators addressed their concerns and challenged Zuckerberg to regulate Facebook. The CEO made it clear that he is not opposed to regulations as long as it is, quote, "the right regulation," end quote. Despite the lengthy discourse, many were left unsatisfied with Zuckerberg's responses and have taken to Twitter with the hashtag #DeleteFacebook. All right, so there are many things that we could discuss with Facebook. I mean, I'm not a particular fan, but I want to ask you, how did you think that Zuckerberg reacted to this, and what kind of job do you think he did? And also, I want to ask you personally, have you done anything about it? Have you talked to your parents? Whatever be the case, have you deleted Facebook?
First off, I just got to say, it is incredibly difficult, and you could see it in Mark Zuckerberg's face, to explain the internet and databases and how ads run
basically to a bunch of seniors.
Elderly people who don't understand how it works. But that's also the problem, is that Facebook didn't make it exponentially clear how it works. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that Facebook is a business first and a social platform second. Absolutely. They have to make money, and they do that by using some of your information. And that's where I sort of took steps. Because I went there, I took my phone number off, took my email off, all that stuff can be used. So those are some of the steps that I personally took to protect myself.
I mean, for me, you're putting your information, your picture, where you're from. If you're going to put that online, like, wouldn't you even think for a second, anyone can have access to that. So I mean, if you don't want it up there, don't put your address. Don't make that information available. And do you really people don't read the terms and agreements. You scroll down all the way down. No, exactly, but you don't know, like, if you're in another app, Pinterest, for example, I did it the other day. I'm like, I don't want to make an account, memorize another password, make a username, sign in through Facebook, agree to the terms and agreements. I'm agreeing to let my information be shared with Facebook wherever it's, and I think
that's as far as it goes. Like, you can put so much information on Facebook. You should not be disclosing all of your information on Facebook, but some people do. But what the real problem is that using your same email or logging in through a different app, they track your information, and it's come down to this advertising not only being on the things that you want to purchase, but on who you are as a personality. And by personality traits, they can identify what they will advertise you with.
I mean, and I do think that it works. Like you said, with the Pinterest, I know when I go on Amazon and everything pops up. Do I like it? I think it's kind of creepy, you know, but it does come in handy. When I forget, you know, that I wanted to buy something, I go back to Amazon and I do it. So they're doing their job. I certainly agree with you, Zach. But I do believe that it is the older generation that has an issue with it. So I think that it is our time to educate our parents or the older people to let them know that you don't have to post everything you do on Facebook or, you know, where you're at. You know, I know a lot of people have been robbed because they put, you know, hey, I'm going out of town, whatever be the case. So I think it's a matter of educating others that, yes, it is a social platform, and if you don't want stuff out there, just don't
put it. And I think
it.
It's so engraved in our society that maybe a few people are deleting it, but it's the only way to really see like what your childhood friends are doing or talk to people in other countries. I mean, it's so awesome. Like, I love Facebook, and I really don't think people are going to go that extent to deleting, maybe some of them, but what Congress wanted Mark to do was basically just make it easier for people to understand where that information's going.
I think he made his point, and Congress made their point very well. He explained what data exchange is, and it's the use of putting trackers on IP addresses, your identity on the internet, and sharing that information to make ads. But he also explained, and Congress made their point, and I think this is the most powerful point, is when they asked Mark Zuckerberg, hey, so would you want to tell us what hotel you stayed at last night or your private messages? That was a clear enough a point to say, hey, you need to explain exactly how open people are being on Facebook and how that can be used. And it could be as simple as next time somebody logs in, they show you a video, a quick video explaining here's how it works, so everyone's forced to watch it. And that might be a good option to say, hey, Facebook, we did our part.
And then if you don't agree with it,
make your choice
delete,
from there, which I don't think most people will, to be honest.
I doubt.
You know, another topic of this was, is Facebook a neutral, unbiased website?
Is it a platform, or is it
especially political platform?
I don't think it needs to be. I mean, I think they've made it, and it sucks for Zuckerberg or whomever is in charge of that, but I don't think it needs to be, certainly.
Yeah. And I think what I was trying to make a point of was it really comes down to an individual. You should be not only relying on Facebook as your information for news, but fact-checking that and teaching everybody that this is a social platform and you cannot use it as your verified news. You have to verify everything and make sure that you understand where your data is going. So what do we have going on, Shannon, in national news?
We'll just have to wait and see what Mark comes up with for Facebook and their new privacy policy. But now turning to some national news, another deadly shooting spree left 4 dead and 2 in critical condition this past weekend at a Waffle House in Tennessee. The suspect, Travis Ranking, was taken into custody Monday morning after 24 hours after the fatal incident occurred. Police found Ranking in a wooded area behind the apartment complex that he lived in, thanks to a tip from a passerby who spotted him. Rankin had 5 previous run-ins with the law enforcement. The last one happened July of 2017 when he was arrested by the Secret Service for trespassing private property near the White House. His firearms were revoked from him and turned into his dad, who allegedly returned them back to his son. Ryan King showed up at the Waffle House at 3:23 a.m. Sunday only wearing a green coat and shot 2 people outside before opening fire inside. It was when he ran out of ammunition that a brave man was able to wrestle the gun away and stop him. James Shaw is being hailed a local hero, but he claims he only did what he had to do to survive, saying, quote, that if it was going to come down to it, he was going to have to work to kill me, end quote.
On February 24th, protesters in San Diego gathered outside the California Democratic Party convention. The rally was part of a, quote, Working People's Day of Action, end quote. Reporter Michael Patterson has more on the story.
Freedom, equality, and unrigging the system was the mantra earlier this year as hundreds of San Diego residents participated in the nationwide Working People's Day of Action, an event that was created to drum up public support for public sector unions in the wake of a potentially history-making Supreme Court case, Janus versus AFSCME. The case looks at the legality of requiring mandatory union fees even if a worker does not want to be an official union member. Union members believe that a high court ruling in favor of Janus would defund unions and make them powerless. Rallies like this one occurred in about 10 major cities, including Washington, Boston, and Philadelphia, all with the idea to show the judges on the Supreme Court that public sector workers do not approve of nationwide right-to-work laws.
Where we unite together, No governor, no politician, no corporation, or the Supreme Court is more mighty than the workers in this country. When we stand together in solidarity, nothing would stop us. We say, bring it on.
Our job is to make that happen for every worker in America. And that is why we need unions, and that is why we have this day of action, and that is why, regardless of what happens in the Supreme Court, we will succeed, because when we succeed, America succeeds.
Many eyes are on this case as it has major implications for the fate of the unions in this country moving forward. The court heard oral arguments for this case in February and are expected to make a decision sometime this summer. Reporting from San Diego, this is Michael Patterson, The Report Program.
And in more exciting news, the new royal baby has arrived. Duchess Kate of Cambridge gave birth to a boy on April 23rd. The new prince, whose name has yet to be announced, weighed in at 8 pounds 7 ounces. Kate left St. Mary's Hospital less than 24 hours after giving birth. The Duchess of Cambridge showed a glimpse of their new bundle of joy on the steps of the Lindo Wing. The new royal baby is 5th in line to the British throne. This is the first time in history Princess Charlotte will remain 4th in line, despite another son being born. British law changed to make birth order the determining factor in succession, replacing gender as the default rule. Kate and the baby are said to be doing well. Congratulations to the royal family.
Coachella, or should I say Baychella? That's right, the famous music festival Coachella was all the talk this month as The Weeknd, Beyonce, and Eminem headlined the 2-weekend show, and each gave a performance of a lifetime.
Bow down, just bow down, just bow down.
However, no one like the Queen Beyonce. This year she made history by being the first black female artist to headline the festival. The Queen performed both weekends and gave an epic performance. She even brought out Destiny's Child for some major throwback vibes.
Say my name, no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you if you ain't running. Say my name, say my name.
It's clear that Beyonce set the tone for her upcoming tour in summer. In more music news, over the weekend, famous Swedish DJ producer Avicii passed away, making a sad day for the music world. DJ producer Kygo and Alice in Wonderland did a tribute to him during their Coachella set. Our condolences to Avicii's family, friends, and fans out there. We're sending our thoughts and prayers. Well, it's our last show here for the season. What did you guys like best about this season?
I loved anchoring with you guys. You guys were all
I know.
wonderful.
I loved having a guy. I loved having a
Yes.
guy this time on the
Thank
show.
you, thank you.
It's our second time, and Abby, is it your second time too?
First and last. Also, thank you to the wonderful cast and crew. You guys are
I know,
wonderful.
they were so
Director
so
Melissa,
great.
wonderful
Writers.
producer Wendy. You're beautiful and wonderful.
We've had a
all in
lot
the
of
same-
really good discussions, a lot
Yeah.
of tough topics. That
What
are
have been some of
easy
your
to-
favorites, Shannon?
Oh gosh, some of my favorites, definitely the elephant one.
I was about to say, I think that was like
I
close to
really
our
did
heart,
like
right?
the homeless one today.
I like talking about Logan Paul. I think that nobody
Paul,
ever
yeah.
talks about kind of the shenanigans that he pulls. For us to kind of put him in
Or
his place
social
was
media,
nice.
yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice as well. So, and Facebook is also a pretty big one. I hope that something's done
Oh, the
about
Super
that.
Bowl ads. I really liked that,
That was
one.
fun.
That was a
one
good one.
fun.
I wasn't
Yeah.
here
I
for
know.
that one,
But
but
I
I'm sure
really
it was
liked that
it was great stuff. I
was
liked
great.
everything, honestly, and I know that's an easy way out, but I did. I'm really gonna miss you all, and I hope that we cross paths soon.
I learned a lot from
Absolutely.
you guys too, so I'm really happy that I got the chance to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's all the time that we have on the report today. Thank you for watching this season, and we hope every Cal State Fullerton student good luck on their finals and a great summer break. Make sure to catch us on the fall season coming up. Stay tuned for more news, views, and info. I'm Leslie Duarte.
I'm Shannon McKercher.
And I'm Zach Slopemaker.
And I'm Abby Fernandez. Stay fresh, Fullerton.